Okay, so we're back. Last video I was talking about the Great Shogun Shin and Legendary Six Samurai Shien combo that some people use, which is you have Great Shogun Shin on the field and then you have Legendary Six Samurai Shien on the field, and you use their effects in conjunction. And pretty much what that means is, what you do is you use the Great Shogun Shin's effect, which prevents them from playing more than one spell attack card per turn, and then you play Legendary Six Samurai Shien if you need to negate said spell or trap card return. It doesn't work only because, and this is based on what a judge had told me, that because you're negating the activation of that spell or trap card, it's as if your opponent never activated said spell or trap card. So Shien's effect would say that they can still activate their one trap card per turn. It just was negated. Now I can sort of argue about that, but then here's the problem: Solemn Judgment negates the summon of a monster. Wouldn't that mean I can still normal summon? Well, the judge specifically stated, and this is again about a couple of years ago, back in 2008 when this first happened to me, was that the judge stated simply that the rules state you can only normal summon once per turn, but the rules don't state that you can only normal summon or activate one spell attack card per turn. So when you negate it, it's acting as if it never happened. It's a horrible explanation. If someone could explain it better to me, it's fine. However, I have been working around that. Personally, I do not use Shogun Shin on in my deck. I prefer Inishi over Shogun Shin, only because I can use Inishi's effect much faster than I can use Shogun Shin's effect. Now, another thing I wanted to explain is a card called Rivalry of Warlords. That card is fantastic, and I have it right here. It's in my side deck. Rivalry of Warlords, by the way, I use two in my side deck. I'm just trying to grab the other one here and there. It's a common trap card. Pretty much, it forces you and your opponent to send monsters to the graveyard from the field until you only have one type of monster. For example, like warrior, dragon, etc., etc. Now, Six Samurai. If you're using a pure Six Samurai deck, which means no other card except Six Samurai, that means you have nothing but warrior types in your deck. Which means when you activate Rivalry of Warlords, you don't have to send any monsters to the graveyard because you already have only one type on the field. Which is fantastic, because if your opponent's using a deck that has multi-types on the field, for example, Twilight, Glad Beast is a perfect example. When I face Glad Beast, I immediately side deck those cards. Pretty much it forces your opponent to play just that one type. And if you're facing Glad Beast is Warrior, Winged Beast, Beast Warrior, Beast, Fish. It's just a pain in the ass for them. And it knocks their ability to win down to like minuscule unless they can get rid of Rivalry of Warlords. And of course, in the meantime, you're just going to be kicking ass because you're just going to be able to summon and summon and summon while they're sitting there trying to do something. And of course, I just laugh my ass off as I do it. But as for any other decks, for example, obviously you can't use Rival Warlords for Blackwing because they're all winged beasts and so forth. That's why it's a good side deck card just to bring in. I also mentioned the double-edged sword technique is a fantastic card. I recommend it to anyone that uses a Six Samurai deck. And if you are going to use it, make sure you have two. Now, there is a card, I do not have it with me. I do own the card, I just don't have it, called Swift Six Samurai Storm. And another card called the 6 Triple Strike. That card pretty much is either a Heavy Storm or a Lightning Vortex, depending on how you want to use it. Pretty much, you have 3 Six Samurai monsters on the field. You can choose to destroy all face-up spell attack cards on your opponent's side, all face-down on your opponent's side spell attack cards, or Lightning Vortex to field with all face-up monsters. Good card. Would you recommend using it in the deck? Not necessarily. Would you side deck it? At least one copy. Maybe. I mean, you have only 15 cards to put in your side deck. Do you really want to waste it on Triple Strike? Some people will use it. I personally don't. Now, down to the problems with the Six Samurai deck. Back in 2008, when I first started using Six Samurai, the problem I had was consistency. Not very easily to draw cards. Back then, the Six Samurais that you had didn't have much. Of course, back then you didn't have Gateway and you didn't have Shin Smoke Signal, or you didn't have the unbelievably broken United. But now, Six Samurais, the entire deck is almost broken because the new powerful legendary Six Samurais, the ability to pull off the synchro with very relative ease, and then on top of that, the synchro itself being unbelievably powerful and broken with its negation that has 0 cost, and its level 5 synchro ability. And of course, Kizan, which is a broken card as it is. I've never seen a super rare so hard to find in Kizan. But the problem with the Six Samurai deck is that it's become ungodly expensive, and that's something that saddens me because 2008, when I first got this deck, everyone recommended it to me because my favorite type is Warrior type. I love Warriors. My favorite card is still Blacklist Soldier Envoy at the beginning. And I wanted a Warrior deck. And they said, well, if you're going to get a Warrior deck, get Six Samurais. They're cheap. And then here it is, about 2.5 years later, and now Six Samurai decks have cards that are $45 in them. Legendary Six Samurai Shien, like my first edition Ultras that are over there, or my first edition Six Samurai Kizans, or my first edition Gateways. I mean, these things are like unbelievably expensive, and there should be no reason for it. Another bad thing about Legendary Six Samurais, or the Six Samurai deck in general, is that your strongest monster is 2,500. Most decks have cards stronger than that. Mind you, most decks can't get those cards fast enough. Not even the mighty Blackwing can pull off the same speed as Six Samurai can nowadays, and it's just a pain in the ass. Another thing is that Six Samurais are prone to mass removal, and at the same time, Six Samurais, they don't share attributes. So the card Goes in Match kicks the living crap out of Six Samurai, and because again, since Six Samurais are warrior types, any anti-warrior card can literally beat Six Samurai. For example, the reason why I have Shrink is because I have fought against Kinetic Soldier. And Kinetic Soldier is a pain in the ass because it increases the attack points of the monster by 2,000 points just when it fights Six Samurai monsters. And another card that literally destroys the Six Samurai deck is Catastor, my own synchro card that I have right here. Anytime Catastor fights a non-dark monster, he instantly destroys it. The only dark Six Samurais that are out there are Shien, which is the synchro, and then there's Iru, which is Six Samurai from the older set, which I actually carry in my side deck. I believe I do. Where is he? Where are you, Iru? Iru. Which is pretty much the exact opposite of Zanchi. He destroys face down cards before they get flipped, and that's the only bad thing. And then of course, Necro Valley literally destroys any chance you have of using this kind of combo right here, and because of that, you have to literally get rid of it. Now, of course, you have MST for that. You can't use Heavy Storm. You can Giant Trunade, but Giant Trunade's a one-turn thing. But then again, if you can get that big swing, it's fantastic. And of course, because Gateway is now limited to 1, this card's usefulness has dropped significantly. But all in all, Six Samurais are still a broken deck. With the new cards for Six Samurai coming out, such as Shin's Dojo, I see Six Samurais only getting stronger. I just hope Konami just doesn't decide to nerf this deck like they did Lightsworn and all the other decks out there. I miss you, Chaos. I hope you come back someday. No, Blacklist Soldier's going to remain on the ban list forever. By the way, guys, leave your comments. Again, I will automatically delete comments that aren't constructive criticism or at least some sort of rational thought. If it's your deck sucks or your voice is gay, I'm just going to delete you, possibly block you. But if there's anything else, just send me a PM or just leave a comment. Have a good night.